Welcome back to season 1 of Snubs and Dubs, where we're talking the snubs and dubs of the 69th Academy Award for Best Picture. I'm your host, Kyle Tobiasson, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jason Miller. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good.
Did you have a good day today?
I did have a very good day. It was another day off. 2 Fridays off in a row, so...
Do you even work?
Yes. Just apparently not Fridays recently. But it's been good. Have you watched anything else in the last week?
Trying to think. I don't think I really have. Didn't have much TV time this week.
No?
No.
That's fair.
Yeah, how about you?
I was actually getting a lot done. I mean, there was a couple things that I was trying out. I watched the first 2 episodes of Foundation, which is like the new Apple TV Plus sci-fi show. Not that into it. Don't know if I'll finish it. I also started Squid Game, which is that Netflix show that everyone's obsessing about
right now. So, it is the hot button.
Yeah.
How do you like it? How far did you get in?
I got 3 episodes in, and it's pretty good so far.
Lives up to the hype?
I would maybe lower your expectations because there is like an absurd amount of hype, and I think it's good, but I don't think it's like the greatest thing of all time, but it is good. Mm-hmm. And so I would just go in with like, just it's good.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll watch it anytime soon. I kind of like waiting on these, letting it kind of pass on, and then I give it a watch, and then I just quietly catch up to the rest of the world. But like, I feel when I'm watching it, and so if I'm watching it a little bit behind everyone else, then I step into the spoiler minefield where I don't really care about spoilers, but I'd sure like to not have to hear them. So if I can just stay completely pure and innocent until way after the hype's gone, the spoilers that I hear won't mean anything to me. But if I start now, I'll know what's going on. So I might just wait a bit and then watch it later.
That's totally fair. I've had lots of TV shows like that where I've thought that and then just never watched them. Yeah. But then I also watched, I saw No Time to Die yesterday.
Oh, you did? I did. Right.
Yeah. And it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's probably like the 3rd best Daniel Craig Bond movie. I think it's still like, for me, it's like...
only been like 4 or 5?
There's 5. There's Casino Royale, which is the best one, I think.
Oh,
then there was Skyfall. No, sorry. Then there was Quantum of Solace, which is the worst one.
Oh, that's the writer's strike one.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. And then I think there was Skyfall, then Spectre, then No Time to Die.
Yeah.
And so my order was, I think Casino Royale is still the best one.
Yeah.
Then Skyfall, then No Time to Die, and then Spectre, then Quantum of Solace, which I think is like, it's like a consensus.
Yeah, that's a good spot to be in because Spectre was still fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was good.
But Casino Royale is like, that's the Daniel Craig Bond movie.
That one
that's
that one's pristine.
So good.
Minty quality. But what I did like about it is I went in kind of a little bit worried. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oof, that's going to feel long.
But it should be long.
Yeah, but it didn't feel long. Which
good.
Is to its credit. The pace is quick. It moves. So I would recommend it. Go check it out.
I really liked you.
Yeah.
I actually try and keep up with some movie series, and Bond is one of them. I try and watch them.
Yeah.
So I will actually move my ass to a theater at some point and watch that.
There was actually one more thing that I watched now that I'm thinking about it, and it was another 1996 film that we're not talking about, but it was Muppets Treasure Island. I just wanted to check it out. It was on my other 1996 movie list, and so I checked it out on Disney Plus. It was fun.
Have they ever made a miss with the Muppets?
I don't think so.
Even if it's not a smash slam grand hit, it's still a good Muppets film.
Yeah, there's a new Muppets Haunted Mansion that I want to check out that just came out. It's got Will Arnett in it too, and I love Will Arnett. So yeah, but we'll move along unless there's anything else you wanted to mention.
No, I haven't been watching a lot of stuff lately.
That's fair.
Been watching a little bit of hockey, which is, I guess, kind of relevant for this one movie, and then will not be again. But we had to run because it would have been relevant for Happy Gilmore too.
True. We have a double dose of back-to-back names as titles sports movies. But of course, season 1 of Snubs and Dubs is talking about the films from the year 1996. And for this episode 10, we are talking about the second nominee for Best Picture this season, Jerry Maguire. Have you seen it before?
No, but this is one that you know of its existence because there's so many classic lines that come from this movie. Mm-hmm. And it's fun watching it because every time you hear one, you go like, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when there's a really prevalent meme, like the Travolta confused meme, and then you watch Pulp Fiction again. Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, there's the meme.
There it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like that with some of the lines
with
of dialogue.
Iconic movie lines instead.
Yeah. I had actually seen this one before.
You have seen it before?
Yeah, it came in my Columbia Classics 4K Volume 1 set. And
well,
so
at you.
I wanted to go through that and check them out. And so I checked this one out last year. And yeah.
Did it change much in that year?
A little bit.
Probably.
My opinion of it, a little bit, yeah. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. But we'll get to that in a second. If you're interested into Jerry Maguire, I've included the links to the physical media related to it in the show notes. If you buy through that link, it'll help out the show. Or if you have any other Amazon shopping to do in the process, follow that general link and it'll help out the show. A reminder that this is a spoiler-filled conversation, so if you haven't seen Jerry Maguire and want to go ahead, I think it was on Netflix.
It was on Netflix,
yeah. And on Prime too, I think. So
really accessible movie.
Yeah, exactly. But without further ado, let's get into it.
When Slick's sports agent Jerry Maguire has a crisis of conscience, he pens a heartfelt company-wide memo that promptly gets him fired. Desperate to hang on to the athletes that he represents, Jerry starts his own management firm with only single mother Dorothy Boyd joining him in his new venture. Banking on their sole client, football player Rod Tidwell, Jerry and Dorothy begin to fall in love as they struggle to make their business work. Jerry Maguire is written and directed by Cameron Crowe and stars Tom Cruise as Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding Jr. as Rod Tidwell, and Renee Zellweger as Dorothy Boyd. It has a runtime of 138 minutes and released December 11th, 1996. What'd you think of Jerry Maguire, Kyle?
I like Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire was good.
It's a nice movie.
Yeah, it was a pretty uplifting. It had some good heart to it, some heart and some grit.
Yeah,
told a good love story. I don't know if it was a great love story.
No,
I think Rod Tidwell's love story was greater. Even though that was like the side piece to the real action.
Yeah,
which I do want to say, this movie has created the best fake football name I have ever heard. Rod Tidwell is so perfect.
That's a really good football name.
He is that depth wide receiver that just kind of pops up for a week that you take on your fantasy team and then drop him the next season. It is the perfect fake football name. And I was in awe of that for the whole movie. Rod Tidwell.
That set you at a high for the whole movie. Just
that
Rod
was
Tidwell.
So good.
Yeah. And Cuba Gooding Jr. is really good in this movie.
He is also a good Rod Tidwell.
Yeah.
I really love that character.
This is also, I think, in one of the peak eras for Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because in this same year, Mission Impossible came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was, I guess, a pretty good year for him.
Tom Cruise is the man. Well, I mean, he's not an amazing person with the whole, Scientology
stuff.
But in this movie, is he the man?
Yeah, he's really good in this. And I find the more I look at it and the more I kind of understand some of the relationships more in this movie, I like it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of start to learn why, what made Jerry change and yeah. It's good though.
And he does do a good job of being a man who's kind of on the down. Because he's pretty downtrodden by most of the people in this movie are kind of taking dumps on him at various points.
Yeah.
So he actually does a pretty good job of not being the super cool elite alpha Mission Impossible squad leader. He actually does a pretty good vulnerable person.
He does. And you have moments of him where he's he's pretty desperate. And there's this one scene. Yeah, the locker room. The one scene where he's on the phone with that guy's the manager or the owner of the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah, probably
and
the GM.
Something like that. Yeah, and then he's basically begging him to do a better contract just as a favor.
Yeah. That was sad.
It was sad.
But yeah, he does some pretty sad, desperate things. It was in the locker room with Rod Tidwell after that. It's still the same thing where he's kind of not quite begging, but he really needs help with this to get it done. Yeah,
when he's help me. Help you.
Yeah.
And then Rod's not really helping him. Then he's just fine.
Yeah.
Fine. He's kicking shit. That was good shit.
It was really good.
Yeah. Should we get into the plot though?
Oh yeah, let's get into the plot.
Let's get into the plot.
Hit that plot.
So we start off with a voiceover from 35-year-old Tom Cruise as Jerry Maguire as he shows off his prowess as a sports agent. But something comes up. Jerry is noticing a change and he doesn't like it. After a confrontation with a little boy whose dad is in the hospital, Jerry realizes that he's become just another shark in a suit, as he says, and he doesn't like that. He has a breakthrough/breakdown and writes out a mission statement titled "The Things We Think and Do Not Say." It has a lot about changing to more personal relationships in their business, fewer clients, less money, that all this stuff that, people probably don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Everyone at the agency gets a copy, and after a mild panic attack, he arrives at the agency the next morning to an applause, which is nice. However, it's a little bit of a false applause from some people, as one of the agents think he only has a week left.
They're probably more celebrating the fact that now there's clients open for them to steal because they know he's a dead man for writing that.
Yeah, for sure. Finally. We also meet 26-year-old Dorothy Boyd and her son Ray on the plane, a son that Dorothy quickly loses as she arrives to the airport. Jerry helps her find Ray, and Dorothy confesses that she loved his mission statement. So setting up the start of their relationship, or at least the basis of why Dorothy is, I guess, maybe infatuated with Jerry so much.
Yeah, well, they do work together, and Tom Cruise is a hot slab of meat.
Yeah.
So that was probably a pretty good reason. And then the fact that he can write, and there's a heart behind that slab of meat too.
Yeah.
What more do you need? I'd be melting as well.
Dorothy is like a character, is like very motivated by the sort of like heart and like feelings. And
yeah. She's very motivated to just have a relationship with Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there wasn't a lot of like personal connection between the two of them. So I don't know. We will probably talk quite a bit about their relationship because it's kind of the whole point of the movie, essentially. But it really seems like at the start, it's just like she's got the hots for him. Mm-hmm. And he also wrote something cool.
Yeah. She's a bit of a romantic.
That's really is. Yeah.
Her favorite movies are probably like romantic dramas or comedies.
Yeah, probably like Jerry Maguire or something.
We then arrive at a surprise bachelor party for Jerry Maguire, where we learn that everyone loves Jerry, but he is unable to make genuine relationships with women through like this weird video that was like, why would people be saying that?
Yeah, that was really strange.
Yeah.
I guess it got the exposition across, I guess, but it wasn't like in a good way. There were so many ways to show that, but it was also kind of funny in the video. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they did it.
I'm glad they did it
stuck
too.
out. I liked it, I guess.
And it also, like, you really see kind of how fake, in a way, everyone is.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone's smiling and everyone loves Jerry, but then they're so quick to turn on him.
Yeah. Well, maybe they did that to kind of knock him down a peg because this is his party and they're not scared to kind of be dicks to him at his party anyways.
Maybe.
So they're going to, like, film embarrassing things ex-girlfriends have said and play it in front of a room full of people.
Yeah. And, well, that also could be because his fiance at this point is... She's kind of like also not very nice person.
She's also not a good human being.
Yeah. And she's in that video, like kind of like claiming like, oh, like I have him now. Like he's mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, but all his ex-girlfriends are like, he doesn't have, genuine relationships with people. Like it's kind of weird, but that wouldn't be something that I would want to show at my bachelor party.
I'm going to send some very quick text, Kyle. Just ignoring for the next 25 minutes.
The next morning, we have a quick meeting with Marcy, the wife of Rod Tidwell, to set up that they're wanting big bucks and celebrity endorsements for Rod from Jerry, and Jerry is not getting that for Rod quite yet. Following that, Jerry meets with another sports agent, Sugar, for lunch, and Sugar cuts right to the chase and tells Jerry that he's fired.
Yeah. And he was hungry about that. He wanted it so bad. And also, like, at the bachelor party, Bob Sugar says, "Are we still on for lunch tomorrow?" So at his own bachelor party, he was getting ready, salivating at the prospect of firing Jerry Maguire the next day at lunch because he could.
Yeah, well, and he knew that he was going to go claim like every single one of Jerry's clients too.
Oh yeah, he was just hungry for that.
Which is exactly what happens after, because Jerry and Sugar rush back to their office and compete over the phone to hold on to Jerry's clients. I like some of the lines here. "I'm Mr. Black People." Yeah. They're like trying to compete over like certain players, and then like Sugar's like saying like Jerry, isn't like, he's not one with the black people.
Yeah. I'm Mr. Black People.
And then of course we get the iconic start of "Show me the money."
Yeah. That, which is also such a funny dialogue because it keeps flashing back to the phone line that shows Jerry Maguire steadily losing everyone on hold just to hold on to Tidwell. Just yelling, "Show me the money," as he's like, as all of the money's vaporizing from his fingers because he's on this one call.
Yep. And then he's like, "Who's your motherfucker, Jerry? You're my motherfucker. I love black people." He's just screaming whatever Rod wants him to hear, which is great. But Rod is the only one to stick with Jerry. And so Jerry leaves, but he announces that he's going to start his own company on the way out. and that the fish are coming with him. Then he asks who's going to come with him. And after a horribly awkward silence, Dorothy says that she's going to do it. So Dorothy is the only one to come with Jerry. Even like his own assistant, as like he's on his way out, he's like, all right, come on, let's go. And she's like, oh, I'm like three weeks away from the pay raise though.
Which is such a sad thing, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Also, he clearly is in a bad spot and just got fired. I don't know if I'd want to work for him right away. I might let that simmer a week before I hand in an application.
Yeah. Well, and there's also that like funny bit of like kind of physical comedy where he's like, I'm not going to do what you guys all think I'm going to do, and freak out. And he just like kind of fucking throws his body around. That was good. In the elevator, Dorothy translates some American Sign Language, and we get an early drop of the line, "You complete me." So a little bit of foreshadowing there. That's kind
of cute.
At Dorothy's house, Dorothy's sister Laurel lectures her about the decision that Dorothy made over the murmurings of a divorced women's group, which is like just like a fun.
I love that
like setting. Yeah. Jerry's fiance motivates him to go to Texas to meet with the family of Cush. And when he gets there, the family reveals that they are wanting to stick with Jerry, saying he said that if Jerry shows up, they're going to stick with him. And his word is stronger than oak.
Oak must be pretty weak.
Jerry then goes to the draft and tells Rod to come. Rod and Jerry walk the lobby of the draft, and Jerry sings his praises to everybody that's going through there. Jerry then goes back upstairs to Cush and his family. And when he answers the phone to get a reporter off of Cush's back, it's Sugar, who reveals that they've been dealing behind Jerry's back. When Jerry tries to get something in writing to say that Cush is with Jerry, they can't do it, and they reveal that they in fact signed with Sugar while Jerry was in the lobby with Rod. And this was like kind of gross because the dad was clearly a little racist.
Yeah.
He was like, you were in the lobby with the black fella.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh.
Jerry Maguire, you're Mr. Black People. We're not going to keep you as our agent.
Yeah. And the guy too, he's like, sorry, Jerry, I just want to play football.
The son sucked.
Cush.
That family sucked. You don't need them, Jerry. They're terrible people.
Yeah.
I hope their football career is short-lived because he's not very good.
Then Jerry goes to his fiance about his screw up, and he ends it with her. She responds with first denial and then just punching him in the face. So what a great character.
Yeah.
He's just a lovely human being.
Vicious, hungry, absolute piece of trash.
Yeah.
Not a good human being.
No, and she's like, I like when he's like, something's like not working here. And she's like, I can make this work. Yeah. And like, she's not really doing it, I think, out of like love.
No, not at all.
Clearly doing it just to have the relationship.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire's the guy because he's off after that. He's Mr. I can make anything work.
Yeah, because I think she's also an agent.
I think she was like a broadcaster or some, I don't know.
Yeah, something
like that. But she is in the sports world and hungry and will eat up anything, including briefly Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. Jerry then gets drunk on the plane home and calls Dorothy when he gets home. Jerry goes to their house where he meets Laurel, Dorothy's sister, and Ray, Dorothy's son. Jerry also reveals, I guess he already met Ray.
Yeah,
but
didn't really talk to him though.
Yeah, he sees Ray again. Jerry also reveals that he ended things with his fiance to Dorothy, and he makes a weird little move on Dorothy.
Yeah,
here.
Not a very reciprocated move.
No, it's a very strange titty grab and dash.
He just kind of goes right in.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing for a boss to do to his employee when he's drunk at her house afterwards after breaking up with his fiance.
Yep.
Couple bad levels there.
But she sticks around, so she's okay. Later on, Jerry asks for a desperate deal from Arizona for Rod, but gets denied. Rod isn't impressed since all the other guys are making the, quote, Quan, and he's just talking about getting the Quan. Dorothy reveals to Jerry that he's broke. Jerry then apologizes to Dorothy and then asks her to go for dinner, which was also, I think Dorothy here was like prompting him to ask for dinner.
When she's like, you're going to be alone.
Yep.
Alone. I'm leaving. You're going to be alone. Oh, yeah, I'll go to dinner with you.
Yeah. They go on a date, come back and do foreplay on the steps.
That was a long foreplay scene. Yeah. Very publicly, too.
And did he eat her out on the front step for like
I don't know. Second? He had this patented Jerry Maguire move where he just drop out of camera.
Yeah.
And you just had to assume what was going on.
Yeah.
But it could have been really anything.
Absolutely anything. He could have been just like kissing her feet or something.
Yeah, he might have been. He might have been tying his own shoe back up. We don't really know what was going on there.
Yeah, no, that was really weird. But then they go inside and have sex to the weird jazz that the nanny recommended.
That was a fun scene. The nanny was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but
weird jazz stuff.
And he also had another name for a nanny that I can't remember. It was like
au pair.
Au pair.
Yeah, which I know it's something in the nannying world. I don't remember. It is.
Yeah.
I think just a fancier nanny.
Probably.
I don't remember what it is.
The next morning, Dorothy tells Laurel that she loves Jerry, and Jerry overhears. He's cool with it, though, and he has breakfast with Ray. And this was Dorothy is clearly jump into a little bit of a chase here.
Oh,
I don't know how much time has passed for this point. I don't think it's been long, but basically, she read his memo. She went with him. He had a weird titty grab. They went on one date. Now she's in love with him.
Yep. Oh, right into it.
Yeah.
And I think this is still like hours removed from him breaking things off with his fiance.
Yep.
We're not even a full day yet, I don't think.
No. And yet she's in love with him.
And she loves him. And very audibly in love with him, too.
Yes.
She's surprised that he heard, but like she was yelling it in her own very, not small house, but it's a house. You can hear most things happening on most floors in any house.
And like, I think one of the main reasons why she's so enamored with him here is because of the relationship he has with Ray at this point.
Oh, yeah. The fact that right before their date that he and Ray were getting along. Ray gives him a hug and a little peck on the cheek and sees him as like a good male role model / father. She was gone right there. Like he could have proposed at that night before dinner and she would have been all over it.
Yeah. But Jerry's, I guess, cool with it. He's happy.
Yeah, I guess he's into it.
Jerry has Marcy and Rod over to see a fax offer from Arizona. It's only 1.7 mil for 3 years, though. And so after some arguing, Dorothy reveals to Rod that Jerry is broke and working for them for free. Marcy and Rod decide that they're going to play out their existing contract and go into the offseason as a free agent. This is risky, of course, because if Rod gets injured, he could get nothing. But this is kind of strengthening their relationship, Rod and Jerry, because he's like, you take a chance on me, I'll take a chance on you.
It's a good moment. They show that, they're in this together.
Yeah.
Because Rod could have gone to a better agent and just made money. But
Rod was also just willing to do whatever Jerry said here.
Yeah.
After what Dorothy said. And it was only after Marcy was like, we're going to stick this out. Like, you'll play your existing contract. We'll go on free agent. That he was like, okay, let's do it. So you can see that relationship is strong and making positive influences on Ray. And you just, not Ray, Rod. And you really see the counter, what's the word? The parallel, not the parallel.
The foil.
The foil. That's it, between Dorothy and Jerry. Dorothy, knowing that Jerry can't afford her, says she's going to take a job in San Diego, but Jerry says they're going to figure it out. Jerry tries to put Rod into a regional camel ad. I don't know what the ad is for.
It was like a car, I think. A car dealership where that's the mascot or something.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to ride the camel, but
nope, he does not want to do it.
Yeah.
Which is like, was it that part of the deal that he had to get on the camel?
I guess so.
But you couldn't just stand next to the camel and be like, I'm Rod Tidwell. This is the camel. Come to this car dealership.
I don't think Rod even wanted to do it because he saw that a lot of advertisements were below him.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was going to cooperate kind of no matter what because he didn't want to do that. Because the second that Jerry pulled the plug, he's like, yep, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Not doing this camel thing.
Yeah, no. But obviously they needed that because as soon as that wraps up, Dorothy then has to go take the job in San Diego. But Jerry proposes to Dorothy and she says yes, obviously. So she stays there. And this was kind of, I don't know, gross in a way. Because like Jerry doesn't like, it's not a very emotional proposal.
No.
He just wants her to be there because he doesn't want to be alone.
Leave. Yeah. Which he's not really made to be out, or he's not made out to be a great person at this point.
No.
I think in the relationship in general, you can kind of tell that she is deeply in love with him and he's there as a matter of convenience for himself because he wants to have just someone near him at all times and she's the most convenient thing. But her sister's really funny in this because she tries to coach her a little bit before she says goodbye to Jerry.
Yeah.
The sister's like, all right, this is going to be quick. This is going to be just tell him goodbye, leave, go.
Yep.
That's all it needs to be.
Yeah.
And then she's watching the play-by-play unfold and she's like, yes, good work. And then when he calls her back, when he calls her back, she's like, no. Oh no. And then when Dorothy runs back in excitedly about being proposed to, she makes the funniest noise.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Yeah. I mean, her sister does kind of know in like what's best for her at this point.
Oh yeah. And she has Jerry pegged to a T. She knows exactly what's going through that man's Beautiful head.
So they somehow afford a wedding despite being broke. And then after that wedding, Dorothy and Rod see the wedding video and see that Jerry's face is a little more concerned than happy when they're waiting for her to come down the aisle. And so Rod mentions a talk that he had with Jerry after the Camel ad because Jerry asked for advice and Rod said they have to have a conversation because obviously Dorothy is a single mother. Mm-hmm. She's 26 years old, so a little bit younger than, quite a bit younger than Jerry. But obviously, he didn't have that conversation with Dorothy, and Rod knows it. And so later on, after a football game, Rod gives Jerry some tough questions, and Jerry reveals that he married Dorothy because she was loyal.
Yep.
Which is...
I love Rod's response to that. Like, that's an answer.
Yeah. That is a answer. Yeah. Jerry then responds with some tough love to Rod, though, and tells him that he doesn't play with heart. He just plays it for the Quan. Which is good. It's kind of true.
They both gave very good feedback to each other.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the most constructive format, but they both did give good advice, which is really similar because Jerry was just kind of in it for his head too in his relationship, not really because he actually loved this woman. Mm-hmm. And then, Rod just wanted a big old payday and didn't really care about the football being played.
It is interesting, their parallel because like you said, like Rod's in it really just for the money. Mm-hmm. And Jerry's in this relationship with Dorothy just for, I guess, not being just alone or the outcome, companionship, loyalty.
Show me the companionship. That was his wedding vow.
And so, this was a blowout that I think needed to happen for both of them because it does make an effect on Rod because after this, he does start to play better.
Yep.
So a little time goes by and Dorothy and Jerry break up in the backyard.
Very deserved. He was about to go fly somewhere else for some other game. I think this is the one where Rod invites him down to wherever they're playing. I think to Arizona.
I think, it's in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like, it's kind of a quiet moment, this one.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a big blow up, crying, upset. I mean, there is a little bit of crying, but like it's basically Dorothy recognizing the flaw in their relationship there.
Yeah.
And then like this, we just need a break basically here because something's not working here.
And they did do a good job of showing the decay of this relationship, especially compared to Rod and Marcy.
Yeah.
Where when they do like the double date, Rod and Marcy are all over each other doing cute couple stuff. And then Dorothy and Jerry kind of like sit beside each other like classmates and not really like they're married to each other.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see it unfold and this makes sense in the movie. They did in my opinion, they did a much better job showing the relationship falling apart than they ever did to build it up.
Yeah.
But I guess that's also part of the movie that they didn't have a relationship built on much. So.
It is very one-sided, the relationship. Like Dorothy is the entire heart of this relationship. Mm-hmm. Like she's putting all the romantic love into that relationship, whereas Jerry's
present, baby.
Coasting. Yeah.
Yeah. He's there. Physically here.
Whereas you can tell that Rod and Marcy like are deeply passionate about each other.
They love each other.
Yeah. Jerry shoos away sugar from Rod as Jerry goes to Arizona to watch a game that will determine if the Arizona Cardinals make the playoffs. During the game, Rod makes the game-winning catch, but is knocked unconscious in the process. Jerry rushes down, and after a very dramatic moment, Rod wakes up and soaks in the applause. Rod then celebrates the victory, and the crowd loves it. Nice moment.
It was a nice moment. I legitimately thought that this might have been in Jerry's head that he imagined this, because Rod is unconscious for a good 45 seconds to 1 minute.
Yeah.
Which would scramble anyone's brains into like, we'll never be seen again.
Yeah.
He has liquid jelly sitting inside his cranium. That is not something the average person can do and ever move around with again. Yeah. So I legitimately thought that it was that comically long as like an effect, like Jerry's pretending this is how it plays out, but actually goes really poorly for him.
Yeah.
But no, that is what happened. It's just that any remaining ability to form thoughts should have been removed by that.
I think Rod was also selling this a little bit. I think he probably laid there for a little bit longer than he was actually out for.
I could see that because he would probably be completely brain dead if he was out for that long.
Yeah. And so he wakes up and he's just like, let me enjoy this for a second. And yeah, they cheer for him. And he just gets back up on his feet and is throwing around and he's very happy.
Oh, yeah.
After the game, Rod is swarmed by the press, but he looks for Jerry. Jerry and Rod have a nice little bro hug. in tears, which makes the other players jealous of their relationship. I like Sugar nearby here. The guy was like, why don't we have that relationship? And Sugar tries to hug him. He's just like pushes him away. That was good. Jerry then gives Rod his phone, which has Marcy, and he cries over the phone with his love for her. This triggers Jerry to run back to Dorothy. And I think he just ran to the plane.
Yeah.
Because he was like running through the airport and like, I mean, he must have caught his flight because he was probably there early. But and then we get the classic scene, the you complete me, and then the you had me at hello. Big hug.
Big hug.
Right in front of the divorce women's group.
Yeah, really rubbing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which this scene is funny now because it feels cliche.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was.
It created this cliche.
Yeah.
Every other movie that's like tried to replicate this has probably made it worse because of the repetition.
Yeah.
But like this is the one that started it. So it doesn't seem like corny. At any other movie, this would have been like a big old eye roll, like, oh, you had me at hello. Ugh. But it was the first one, so it worked out.
Yeah, yeah. And like that is like it's such a Dorothy line too.
It is.
Like at this point, like Dorothy saying you had me at hello, like the fact that he came back, like she still loves him. Of course she's gonna love him. He could say anything at this moment. He just happened to say the right things and come from the right place.
Yeah.
And actually mean it. I mean, I hope he meant it.
God,
I think he meant it. But
yeah. He wasn't crying. He was just sweating a lot. He ran here from Arizona.
After that, we cut to Rod on a talk show where the host reveals Rod's new offer from Arizona, 4 years, $11.2 million, big payday.
That's a bit. That's that Jerry Maguire additional $1.2 million. He slides that in there for you.
Rod says he's not going to cry, but then he cries. He then thanks everyone, declares Jerry Maguire is his ambassador of Quan.
Yeah.
To finish off, Jerry and Dorothy take Ray for a walk. Ray shows some of his baseball abilities.
He's the next greatest pitcher to ever hit the MLB. Yeah.
Jerry gets a little interested, and they walk off into the sunset.
Aww.
That's Jerry Maguire.
That is Jerry Maguire.
What did you think of Jerry Maguire? I know we talked like we both liked it, but
yeah, the performances were really good.
Yeah.
Some of the relationships I didn't care about. I don't think Jerry and Dorothy even had that good of a relationship.
No.
And what really pickled me the most is Jerry didn't change. Because he said he was always going to try and make it work with Dorothy. And then he just comes back to try and make it work with Dorothy. What moment did he have where he became a better person?
I think, well, because he says it in his little speech there, because when he's with Rod, he sees Rod on the phone sharing this moment with Marcy. And like he shared that moment with Rod for a second, but then he didn't have anyone else to share it with. And Rod's sharing this with Marcy, and they're going to continue to share that. Whereas Jerry had nobody. And so he wanted to share that moment with Dorothy. And so there is that question is he actually in love with Dorothy and wanting to, be with her because he loves her? Or is he wanting her to be with her because he just wanted someone to share the moment with?
Yeah, which is like the same problem he's had throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Is he just didn't want to be alone.
Yeah.
So I think that was the only thing that kind of softened the ending for me, is I didn't believe they were going to work anyways, because it kind of seems like Jerry Maguire's up to his old antics back on the Jerry train, and Dorothy is just going to keep putting up with this guy who is still only really with her because he wants to be with someone in general and doesn't care who.
Yeah.
Cares more about being a dad to her son than he cares about being a husband to her.
Yeah. And even the line, like, you complete me, like, it's
what
like,
change?
Yeah, it doesn't really represent any change, because he's like basically just saying, you complete my world.
You make me feel whole. However, I don't really care about reciprocating that, because I just want to feel whole. I don't want to make someone else feel whole too. I don't know.
It's just, like, you're kind of right. There is ways you can look at this and see that he's not the greatest person. If you look at this in like from Dorothy's way, like if you are kind of like the hopeless romantic type, like you will probably see this in the same way that she does, where she's like, oh my God, he came back for me. He says, I complete him, blah, blah, blah. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. And I mean, I think it's a better movie because there's that sort of question of whether he changed or if he kind of stayed as this same catalytic character in a way.
I mean, like, I don't hate the ending. I think I would have preferred to have like a pretty clean wrap up of like he is a better person and things will be better.
Yeah.
I think that would have made the ending better for me than instead of just kind of not being even that sold on things getting better or that they're going to work out in the end. I think, I don't know, that kind of that affected my thoughts on the movie.
Mm-hmm. I think my second viewing had that more cynical look at it.
Yeah.
Because in the first viewing, I really liked it. And I think it's obviously a really heartwarming movie if you don't look at it this deeply.
Yeah.
But yeah. And so and maybe that's just maybe a little on the writing, because if they wanted you to feel like he has really changed, maybe there needed to be more to do that.
Easier ways to do that, or there's better ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like maybe give him some other issue in the relationship as well, because the fact that he is always willing to work through and stick around, but that's kind of the problem, makes it hard to give resolution to that, because you can't fix. How do you change that without him not wanting to be in the relationship? Like he's still, even fixing his character flaw of actually being in love with her. I don't know. How do you get that across in like one clean ending scene?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there could have been something else that he needed to change to make it work, that you can show him changing to have it all fit back together in the end.
Well, because like you don't want to make him more of an asshole.
No.
Because then you won't like him.
No, and you need to like him.
Especially because Dorothy is so pure in a way. Like she's so pure. Like she's all heart. Like she's hopelessly romantic. If he was an asshole to her, especially to her, like you would not like this guy.
No.
Because he would clearly be taking advantage of her.
And you kind of already don't like him because he hasn't been fully committed to someone who loves him so deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I already was kind of like, this guy's kind of trash.
Yeah.
Not full trash, but.
Yeah. Out of the characters and the actors and their performances, who were the stand-ups for you?
My favorite was Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Rod was great.
I
also like Regina King. She was also good in this role too, because like to Jerry, like she's very stern, she's very proud, and like she works for their relationship, and she also shows a lot of emotion in the scene when she's watching him on TV. And so Regina King's always been a great actress, but
kind of all the characters were good. Everyone did exactly what they needed to do or went above and beyond. Like Regina King had a really good performance. Cuba Gooding Jr. had a really good performance. Tom Cruise was really good in this as well.
Was good in this.
Like no one fell flat, and even the small roles, like Bob Sugar, he was good at what he was doing.
Yeah.
I really felt what I needed to feel for him.
Yeah.
No one really disappointed in that.
No, I agree. I think everyone kind of brought their all.
Yeah, and everyone had like a decently interesting character where you could mess it up, you could make him be boring.
Yeah.
But even his ex-fiance, whose name I can't remember, she had a really compelling character too. Like she was an interesting person that I kind of wanted to like learn more about, if anything. But you can't fit that in the movie, so that's fine. All the performances were good.
It was a really well acted movie, yeah. And like there were some lines in here, like that iconic scene, that could fall flat if it wasn't well acted.
Oh yeah, there's so much that could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to say the brother of Rod Tidwell, again, like it was a good performance. That character sucks. I hated him so much. I wanted to see him get smacked around. So I'm glad he did get smacked around a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
When Rod's down and Marcy's kind of giving him the business a bit. Just so annoying.
Yeah.
Because I know.
Kind of just an asshole brother, yeah.
Just an asshole brother, yeah.
What were your kind of favorite moments from this?
The I'm Mr. Black People. That whole scene was really well done. Scene. One thing that I did find funny, this is not a favorite thing. All of the hitting that they showed for the football games was so clean and light. Like, I don't even know how he got injured. Nothing was a bad hit.
Yeah.
Even when he got, like, knocked unconscious, he did the full flip, which could result in someone going unconscious. But then he kind of landed on, like, his shoulders and should have been kind of okay.
That's why I think he was selling it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he was selling it more than I was. Maybe that's why it didn't, like, hook up for me. It didn't make sense that way, but maybe he was just kind of giving it a good sale.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I really like that. The show me the money scene.
Show me the money.
That's a really iconic scene, and it really works.
I love the scenes with Dorothy's sister too.
Oh, with Laurel.
She was really funny, and
she is funny.
Oh, when at the wedding when she tells Tom Crowe or Jerry Maguire, like, if you hurt her, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
it really sold that one as well.
Yeah, she was a really good character. Yeah,
there were a lot of good parts in this. A lot of good relationships, just well crafted characters. So like, kind of any scene where that's going on. Except for like some of the main scenes for building that relationship between Dorothy and Jerry. But whatever. Like so much of this movie hit for the characters and relationships.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fault it that much for not being perfect.
Yeah. And I mean, like, part of the movie is about the fact that they don't really have this full perfect relationship, and they need to find that. But
yeah, you need that in there to make there be an issue.
Do you want to move on to the reviews?
Yeah, I'm down for that. Where do you think the critics and the audience fell for this one?
Well, it's a nominee, so I'm going to assume critics are probably going to be decently high. But it also is a romantic comedy. Not a romantic comedy, a romantic drama. I'm going to go like 89. And then audiences, maybe like an 85, like a little lower. I don't know.
You have the right idea, but the wrong starting point. This was not as well reviewed as I kind of thought it would be. I was also assuming it would hover around like the high 80s to 90 mark.
Yeah.
So for Rotten Tomato, the critics gave it an 84.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Audience is 79.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a little lower than expected. IMDb went even lower with a 7.3.
Okay.
And then Metacritic, 77.
Yeah.
So lower than expected, but nothing crazy. That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, that does make sense to me. Yeah. Because like a 7.5, 7 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah.
It was, and it stuck around really strongly too. So maybe that's going to influence how we think it should have been reviewed at the time. But
yeah, I think its influence almost hurts people's retrospective viewing of it.
Because the rest of the movie's not as incredibly landmark as those lines were.
Yeah, and those lines now are so cliche in a way that like if you looked at this not knowing like the context maybe or like that it was kind of trend setting in that way, like you might find it like awkward or cliche in that regard.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Actually, this is a side fun fact where I'm going to get the numbers wrong because I didn't write this one down because it wasn't that fun. Okay. But those two lines, you had me at hello and show me the money, are both entered in some place's list of like 100 top most memorable movie lines of all time.
Nice.
At like one was like 25, one was like 50 or something around there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they are very memorable lines. They both come from the same movie.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's good.
Box office time.
Ooh,
this one.
Show me the money.
Oh, would you like to see some money? This one had a box office of $153,952,592. It made bank.
Yeah.
On a budget of $50 million.
Oh yeah.
So $100 million return.
Damn.
Ooh-wee.
They did show the money.
They showed the money.
It is a very accessible movie.
Oh yeah. So many people can like this because it's got, the bro sports element to it. It's got like a really nice romantic side to it. It's a good drama.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's really just crowd pleasing.
It is.
This finished the box office at number 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's high.
That's high.
Shit.
It made bank.
It did make bank.
Yeah.
Wow. This might be the one. Sometimes in Gears of Best Picture, there's that one that was good, but because it also did so well monetarily, it got nominated. It had its nomination elevated by the fact that it did so well.
I can also see this as being one of the movies that the Academy likes.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Like this is pretty baited up for them.
Yep.
All right. Are you ready to move into our rankings of this?
Yeah, I am.
Give me your enjoyment.
I'm actually going to give it a 4.
4 for enjoyment. I think that's fair. I mean, like, there's not a lot to hate.
Yeah, and it was like the fact that I still really liked it on the second viewing, even though some of the moments I was like, okay. I didn't dread watching this again.
Yeah.
And I actually liked watching it again. So, yeah.
I'm going to give this one a 3 is what I initially wrote down when I finished watching that. I'm going to stick with that. It is a really good movie with some good parts to it. But I think at times I got bored too.
Yeah.
There was like at one point I checked it and there was 40 minutes left. I was like, ugh. And even though I had fun with those 40 minutes, I'm like, I kind of want there to only be like another 15 to 20 left in this.
Well, you also were you were watching it quite late, weren't you?
I was watching this pretty late. I think I started at like 11:30.
Oh
so
my
it was
God, you maniac.
I checked at like 1 a.m. and there was 40 minutes left.
Oh my God.
And then I worked after.
That might have something to do with it.
Yeah, but I think I stand by that 3 as in like I had a fun time watching this, but there was moments where like, I could be watching something more entertaining for my own personal tastes. Craft.
I'm gonna go with a solid 3.5. It's a nice looking movie. Is it like blow me away looking? Nah, but it's good. And like the score was fine. I didn't notice it that much. Costumes worked, but yeah, I think it all worked to capture the world. Didn't like go above and beyond, I think, but it didn't make me notice that it was bad. So
yeah,
I think I'm good. 3.5 is fair for me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going to give that a 3.5 as well. I really enjoyed the soundtrack they had for it. I liked the music. The choices made sense. They kind of worked building that universe. And yeah, like all the design just seemed to hold up this movie really well and let the performances shine through. So I think everything did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
All right, this is probably the big one. This is probably its most favorable category, but it's execution.
I'm actually going to go 4.5 because I think this is a really well written and well acted movie.
Very deserving. I'm going to give this a solid 4 for execution. The acting was so good.
It's really good.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot I can fault it on. I just feel like I maybe want to reserve this because I think something could go higher than this can, but this was a very well done movie. Lastly, the rewatchability.
I actually wouldn't mind watching this again.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go 3.5.
3.5? Yep.
Because am I actively going to go watch it again? Maybe in a couple of years.
Not for a while, though. You're not going to immediately flip this one right back on.
Yeah. But I do want to show people this movie who haven't seen it.
It's like the perfect date night movie, too.
Yeah.
I am
something for everybody.
Yeah, I'm just going to give this a 2 for rewatchability.
Ooh.
I kind of got what I needed out of it, and I don't know if it would hit as good the second time I watched it, but I would not leave if it was on. I would absolutely, but I know I will never go out of my way to watch this one again.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just one of those movies that I really enjoyed my time with it, and I'm kind of worried if I watch it again, I'd like it less, so I kind of want to leave it where it's at.
Yeah, see, that's where the fact that I actually had seen this before probably actually helps its rewatchability score for me, because I watched it again, and I'm still coming out of it thinking I would watch it another time.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't watch it again and think like, okay, I've gotten everything I wanted out of this movie. I think I would still be okay to watch it again, and I would want to watch it again with somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally fair. So the final tally, Kyle, you have given this movie a 15.5 out of 20. Which comes to 78%.
Yep.
And I've shot lower. I've given this a 12.5 out of 20 for a 63%.
Okay.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's not my favorite type of movie.
Yeah.
And that's kind of softened me on it. But for what it is really well done.
Yeah.
It is exactly what it needs to be.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
It's all for you.
Season ranking time.
Yeah. Refresh me.
Kyle, you have in order currently, number 1, Fargo, then Independence Day, Bottle Rocket, Train Spotting, Twister, Primal Fear, The People vs. Larry Flint, Lone Star, and then Happy Gilmore at the very bottom.
I think this is taking number 2.
Number 2.
I think it's taking number 2.
Independence Day gets knocked once again. Still a top 3er though, so that ain't bad.
Yeah. I had to think for a second because I was like, you go through the process. Is this better than this? Is it better than this? Is it better than this? And I knew this was at least a top 5 movie for me because I believe it's at least better than, I mean, what's my 5th one? Twister?
Yeah, it was Twister. Now it's Train Spotting.
Train Spotting. Yeah, I think it's better than Train Spotting, Bottle Rocket. And then I got to Independence Day, and that was where I was hung up for a second. And I think I just felt more from this movie.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's at.
That's fair. I'm not far behind you. I'm just going to toss this on the other side of Independence Day. So for me, it is coming in number 4.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, my top is now Fargo, Lone Star, Independence Day, and then Jerry Maguire. So close, but wasn't quite as.
What's the rest of your score after Jerry Maguire?
After Jerry Maguire, we are going to have Bottle Rocket, Train Spotting, Primal Fear, Twister, Happy Gilmore, and then The People vs. Larry Flint.
Yeah.
So we did disagree at least.
Yeah.
Even when we're close, we're now separating them a little bit.
Well, my score was actually a lot higher than yours from this. If you think about how we quantify our points, I'm happy at number 2 for Jerry.
Yeah, I think that's a respectable place to put it. This isn't nearly as bad of a take as your Lone Star. That's going to be an all-time cold take, though, so that's kind of on you for that one. But yeah, I think I'd watched this probably before. I don't know. There's this weird zone around Bottle Rocket of movies that I liked but didn't enjoy, and I don't know exactly how to describe that. So this beats that out. But Train Spotting, I really liked it, but I didn't have fun because it's dark.
Yeah.
Bottle Rocket is just kind of weird, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
This clocks in above that.
Yeah.
But not with the ones I didn't have fun watching at all.
Nominees coming in strong.
They are. Oddly enough, the movies nominated for Best Picture have been doing well.
Yeah.
And the one that should have, Lone Star. All right. Are we ready to move on to
give me those funny Letterboxd reviews.
Fun Letterboxd reviews. Okay. First one from Sri. 3 stars. Keep in mind, this is all caps. Why the fuck did I think this and Mr. Magoo were the same movie?
Mr. Magoo?
What is this? Mr. Magoo? What do you don't even know what movie that is?
Show me the Magoo. What?
You had me at Magoo. Fran, 3.5 stars. Fantasy film in which Tom Cruise is tall enough to hit his head on a hanging lamp.
Oh my God. He does do that.
He does do it a couple times.
That was like a comically low lamp, actually.
He's probably on like boosters.
Yeah.
He's probably like booster
high heels.
shoes and he like lowered the lamp and they did like a perspective thing with Dorothy. Ginger, 3 stars. Tom Cruise, no, don't be a Scientologist. You're so sexy.
Why does Letterboxd get really horny sometimes?
Well, it's Tom Cruise. Can
it's true. But like for Primal Fear, there was Edward Norton thirst going on. So like,
there's always thirst for someone.
Yeah.
One more. I really like this one. Jordan, 3.5 stars. Best supporting actor went to Cuba Gooding Jr., but easily could have gone to the kid from Stuart Little. Why? And why is this your comment?
Wait, was Ray also in Stuart Little?
No way. Maybe? Is he?
It's around that time period.
Okay, what's this kid's name? Jonathan Lipnicki. Let's go to his. It's a good thing I got this up and available right here. Was he the kid from... Oh my God, he was.
He was also in Stuart Little? Hell
this
yeah.
makes a lot more sense.
Okay,
now.
there we go.
This isn't some random callback to Stuart Little. Oh, but it was 1999.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, 3 years later.
Screw it. I just think it's funny. Also, there's no, that should have gone to, how could that possibly have gone to him?
Yeah.
He had like 5 lines.
Yeah.
And all of them were just him being a kid. Whatever.
Yeah. He ate his cereal really well.
He
kissed Tom Cruise on the cheek like a
very
fucking
convincing
actor.
Yeah. Just a little jealousy that he got to give him a little smackaroo. All right, awards. This was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, winning 1 of them.
Well, you already said what it was, but I did know what it was already.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the supporting for Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yep. Obviously also nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
These are all pretty obvious. I'll just list them out here. It was nominated for Best Actor, also Best Supporting Actor, which it won, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. All deserved.
Cool. Yeah. I think Tom Cruise was the actor, right? Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which is fine. He deserved probably a good nomination. Yeah. Glad he didn't win it for that, but he deserved a nomination. He's fine.
Yeah. I also think that it's okay that Renee Zellweger wasn't nominated here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
She was like, she did a little crying.
She didn't have like that incredibly hard of a sale of a character.
Yeah.
She did good with it, but like, yeah, it's not the kind of role that you'd really expect to see get a nomination for Best Female Lead.
Best Actress. Yeah.
Yeah, fine with that.
Cool.
Other notable win that it had. So actually, this has a little blurb. Tom Cruise won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy for his role in Jerry Maguire. But he returned this award in 2021 in protest of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Cool. Good for him.
Yeah.
Those guys suck.
Take a stand. Yeah. Screw those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not Hollywood Foreign impressing me much. Interesting facts. Jonathan Lipnicki, who played Ray. As we've just discovered, showed up on the set one day telling everyone that the human head weighs 8 pounds. Writer, producer, and director Cameron Crowe liked it so much he just put it in the script. His own fun facts.
Yeah.
2 lines from this movie. Oh, I did put this one into the fun facts. Okay, now we just have the check if I was correct or not. 2 lines from this movie, Show Me the Money and You Had Me at Hello, are in the AFI's top 100 movie quotes at number 25 and 52, respectively.
Nice.
So that was pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
Bonnie Hunt, who played Dorothy's sister. Yeah, Laurel. Bonnie Hunt says the toughest part of this movie was playing a character that doesn't like Tom Cruise. Right on, Bonnie.
It's good.
I don't blame you. And last one, just a quickie. This was Tom Cruise's 5th consecutive 100 million plus movie, which was a new record.
Damn.
Don't know if it still stands, but yeah, 5 straight. He might have done more after. What was his next one? Because he had another big one that year.
Well, Mission Impossible also came out this year, but I think it came out in the summer. And so it might have gone Mission Impossible and then Jerry Maguire.
And then Jerry Maguire.
As 2 of the 5.
Eyes Wide Shut was his next one.
Kubrick.
Yeah, which I wonder if that...
What was before? What were the other 100 million?
So I'm assuming this is in the correct order of movies on IMDb.
Is one of them A Few Good Men?
Yes, it was the first one.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep. A Few Good Men, The Firm, Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Chronicles, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, and then Eyes Wide Shut.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And he's made way more money since then.
He's not done.
No.
This man's still rolling in it.
Yeah.
But those are the fun facts I brought here.
Cool.
I remember reading some other ones about Jonathan Lipnicki, and it's just kind of funny. Like, the kid he was in the movies, just, they found this kid. Like, that's just who he was.
Yeah.
He just had a bunch of weird fun facts. Oh, there was the whole scene on the couch with Jerry Maguire was unscripted. They were just like, go sit on the couch and be a small child talking to an adult man. And then he did that.
Honestly, good directing.
Yeah, good call.
That's like, I mean, with kids, like sometimes the only way to get a genuine performance out of a kid is just to put them in front of a camera and let them do what they're just going to do anyways.
Just find the kid similar to the one that you want to exist in your movie. And you'll probably win.
Yeah. And we also got another fun fact that he was in Stuart Little.
And he was also in Stuart Little. I didn't know that. Oh, that's
cool.
Funny.
Any other final thoughts on Jerry Maguire before we wrap up?
Not really. That was, I think we kind of went over everything I've thought about this movie. And we'll probably ever think about it again. How about you?
I like it, and I think people should watch it.
Yeah, that's a good
one. It's accessible. Go watch it.
Everyone's going to enjoy something about it.
Yeah, it's nice and easy. It's got some sports stuff, got some romance stuff, got some drama.
I think you see Cuba Gooding Jr.'s ass for a little bit. Yep.
So nice.
That's all I need. Yep. That's a win.
Cool. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for listening to season 1, episode 10 of Snubs and Dubs. As always, you can find us everywhere on social media at Snubs and Dubs. So that's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Letterboxd, etc. We're also on Good Pods, so make sure to check us out there and join our official Discord. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on Jerry Maguire or on this episode. So please send us a tweet or a message with a question, recommendation, or anything else. I'm also at Kyle Tobiasson on Twitter, and Jason is at Wendy_Mills on Twitter. Of course, all those links are going to be in the show notes. Make sure to leave a 5-star review. We just had 11 5-star reviews on Good Pods, and we are at 4 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. So go make it 5, go make it 12, go make it 20. Go add your review. We'll read it off here if you leave a nice review for us. We would really appreciate it. Make sure to check back next week for another episode. Here is a sneak peek of the film we're going to talk about.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
That's right. Next episode, we're talking about Scream, so make sure to go watch it before you listen. We're going to be joined by another amazing guest next episode. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Thanks for listening. That's a wrap. Bye.
Bye.